What if everything you thought was lost was already transforming for you? Dramatic pause. You feel like your efforts, your prayers, your sacrifices are going unanswered. You feel like time has stopped, like the world is moving on without you. But today, something changes. Today, an unexpected, unique event occurs in your life. Something that breaks the pattern and transforms the possible into reality. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal could change the way you see every challenge, every moment of silence, and every expectation in your life. You feel this emptiness, this weight on your shoulders, as if the whole world is demanding that you keep running even though you're exhausted. What if, just for a moment, you stopped? Not because you're weak, but because it's time to listen to what your soul has been crying out for so long. Look around you. The noise, the expectations, the obligations. Everything seems to be pushing you forward, to produce, to succeed, to compare yourself. And you, in the midst of it all, feel alone, invisible, as if no one truly sees the battle you're fighting inside. But take a deep breath and allow yourself to feel, truly feel, what you've been carrying for months, years, perhaps even since childhood. Sometimes, Allah silences the turmoil around you so that you realize a simple truth. What you're going through isn't a failure. It's not a punishment. It's not a sign that you're forgotten or that your prayers are going unanswered. No. This silence, this enforced pause, this emptiness, all of this is a sacred moment where the unseen is preparing itself. It's where your invisible efforts, your unacknowledged sacrifices, and your nights of supplication begin to transform into a light that will illuminate your path. Have you ever felt that strange moment when everything seems to stop, but deep in your heart you feel a different vibration? As if something is happening behind the veil of what you can see? That's exactly it. The soul, when at rest, begins to perceive the signs we never notice when we're constantly running. Trials, disappointments, detours. All of this begins to connect in an invisible pattern, orchestrated by the one who knows what you cannot even imagine. Stop and think of all those times you doubted, when you wondered if Allah had forgotten you, when you looked around and saw others moving forward while you remained frozen. This doubt, this pain, this feeling of being stuck. These are bridges. Invisible bridges that lead you to inner awakening. Every trial is not a punishment but a subtle test of patience, faith, and self-awareness. It is there that the soul begins to understand the value of silence, the depth of waiting, and the beauty of divine timing. Feel it. Feel the calm that settles when you stop fighting against time, against the world, against yourself. In this silence, you can hear what you have never heard before. The gentle, yet firm voice of Allah, who tells you without words, be patient. Everything is unfolding as it should. What must come will come, and what must go will go. This whisper is not in the air you breathe. It is in your heart, in your mind, in the recesses of your soul that you had forgotten. And then, something changes. An imperceptible light begins to shine within you. A strength you thought was lost returns. Slowly but surely. This light is not the product of human effort. It is the result of unseen guidance. It begins to show you the way, to prepare you for a moment when what you believed impossible will become possible. A moment when patience transforms into victory, and when tears shed become the source of your strength. You then realize that everything that broke you, everything that made you doubt, everything you believed to be failures, was simply a divine process. As if Allah had placed each piece on the right path, waiting for the exact moment to assemble the puzzle of your life. And that moment when everything shifts, when the unpredictable becomes real, is closer than you think. Imagine your heart as a fragile vessel, filled with all your experiences, your regrets, your secret joys, and your silent prayers. For a long time, this vessel seemed empty or broken, but in reality, it was slowly filling with an invisible nectar, a divine wisdom, a strength you couldn't yet perceive. And one day, this vessel would overflow, but not silently, not timidly. It would overflow in a way that would transform your world, reminding you that every moment of pain had a purpose, every detour a lesson, and every trial a hidden promise. So stop running. Let the world continue its chaos. Let the noise fade away. In this sacred pause, breathe, listen, feel. You are exactly where Allah wants you to be. Even if you don't understand, even if everything seems lost, even if the loneliness weighs you down, this stage is the preparation for an extraordinary, unexpected moment. A moment when everything you thought was over will be transformed, when your silent prayers will begin to bear unimaginable fruit. And now, stay here, in this silence. Observe how your heart begins to beat differently. Feel how your mind begins to brighten. Because what is being prepared for you was never meant to be small. It is an event that will come suddenly, unexpectedly, powerfully. And you will be ready, even if you don't know it yet. Imagine a vast desert. The hot wind stirs up the dust, and every grain of sand seems to weigh down your feet, your legs, your heart. You walk on alone. The mountains of life seem insurmountable, and the heat of doubt burns you like an invisible fire. Each step feels heavy, and yet you keep going, because giving up isn't an option. But the silence, this crushing, almost oppressive silence makes you doubt. You ask yourself, will I make it? Do my prayers have any meaning? Will everything I've been through ever be rewarded? The sun is high, relentless. The blinding light makes you squint, and every mirage seems to promise you something you can never reach. Your thoughts loop endlessly. Regrets, mistakes, choices you could have made. It all catches up with you, and you feel you could collapse at any moment. But then, in the midst of this solitude and this weight, a glimmer appears. Not just any glimmer, a light unlike anything you've ever seen before. It's not just in the distance, it's beginning to touch the air around you. The sand sparkles differently beneath your feet. The wind feels softer, the heat less oppressive. And this light, you instinctively know, isn't simply a natural phenomenon. It's a sign, a silent whisper from Allah, telling you without a word, hold on. Everything is about to change. You keep moving forward, each step lighter than the last. But your heart remains alert. Your hands tremble slightly. Not from fear, but from anticipation. Because deep down, you know that what you thought was lost for so long, what seemed irretrievably broken, could suddenly return. Everything could shift in an instant, as if time itself had been suspended to prepare for this precise moment. Now imagine that every hardship you've endured, the betrayals, the disappointments, the painful silences, the nights spent crying alone, wasn't in vain. Every step in that desert of solitude, every grain of sand beneath your feet, every sting of the sun, all of it was preparing your soul to perceive the light. as if Allah had meticulously crafted every detail of your life so that you would be ready to recognize the unexpected when it appeared. And this light, it isn't just in front of you. It begins to circulate around you, in the wind, in the warm air, in the breath of your heart. It touches you without burning you. It transforms you without you having to understand it. You realize that what you thought was the end is actually the beginning. The beginning of something you couldn't even imagine. Your mind awakens. Your heart begins to understand what your eyes and ears couldn't perceive before. You remember all those silent prayers, those whispered supplications in the night. They were like seeds planted in an invisible desert. And now, this light is the rain, the wind, the miracle that makes those seeds sprout. Everything you thought was lost, your strength, your courage, your dreams, returns to you with an intensity you've never felt before. It's more than a simple answer. It's a revelation, a total, sudden, irreversible transformation. And then, only then, do you realize that the desert you were walking through wasn't empty. It was filled with invisible signs, hidden paths, unseen forces guided by the one who knows all, who sees all, who understands every beat of your heart, every step you took, every trial you endured, every moment you thought you were alone, was part of a subtle plan, orchestrated with a precision that only divine wisdom can conceive. At that precise moment, you understand that life doesn't work the way we want it to. It doesn't follow our expectations, our calculations, or our deadlines. It follows the will of Allah, and sometimes the transformation comes swiftly, unexpectedly, overwhelmingly. Everything you thought was over, everything you believed impossible, can happen all at once. And when it does, you witness not only an external miracle, but an internal one. Your heart opens, your soul is freed, your mind is illuminated. You stop for a moment, you observe, you breathe deeply. You feel alive, but not just in your body. You are alive in your soul, awakened to a dimension you had never known. And in this suspended moment, you understand that it wasn't just the light that found you in the desert, but you who were found by Allah, by what was hidden, invisible, unexpected, but absolutely necessary for your path to finally open. You prayed, you cried out in the silence of your nights, you whispered your hopes, your fears, your doubts. You shed tears no one saw, tears you thought were lost in infinity. And yet, the silence persisted. The void seemed to answer you. Nothingness seemed to answer your pleas. You tried to understand, to find clear signs, immediate answers, but nothing. And this silence, as oppressive as it may seem, was not abandonment. No. It was a language your soul had to learn. There is an art in the silence of Allah. An invisible, subtle, yet powerful language. When everything seems still, when your prayers seem to hang suspended in the air, that is when the invisible transformation occurs. Because this silence is not an absence but a preparation, a divine alchemy that transforms your sorrows into patience, your doubts into faith, and your wounds into silent strength. Every day you feel the weight of the world on your heart. Every night you question the meaning of your life. All of this is a work orchestrated by Allah alone, and of which you perceive only the surface. Look at yourself. How many times have you thought it was all over? How many times have you believed your dreams were shattered, your efforts in vain? Time stopped just for you, and yet you are still here, still standing, even if your knees tremble, even if your hands search for non-existent support, even if your heart cries out with weariness and loneliness. This persistence, this ability to continue despite the apparent lack of answers. It is already a sign that the path is about to reveal itself. Because Allah never closes one door without opening another. Sometimes, the new door is not immediately visible. It is hidden behind detours, delays, and challenges. It manifests in the unexpected, in that moment when everything seems still and suddenly, like a flash of lightning in the night, the transformation occurs. What you've been waiting for years, what you thought impossible, suddenly appears, shattering everything you knew. And then you understand that every moment of patience, every night of solitude, every silent tear had meaning. Perfect timing, orchestrated by the one who knows all, sees all, and remained in control, even when you thought you were alone. Feel it. Breathe deeply and allow your heart to open to this truth. Your struggles have not been in vain. Your pain has not been ignored. Your perseverance has not been invisible. It has been seen by the one who is closest to you, the one who knows the depths of your heart better than you do yourself. Even if you don't yet understand how it will all unfold, this silence is a promise, a hidden promise. Gentle, yet powerful, that is something unexpected, extraordinary, and transformative is being prepared for you. There is beauty in that moment when you realize that everything you have endured was a prelude, as if every trial, every setback, every disruption of plans actually had an invisible logic, a divine purpose, and were preparing your soul to receive an unexpected gift, a silent but complete miracle. Trial is ever simply suffering. It is the forge in which your heart is strengthened, your mind is refined, and your soul is purified to receive what is to come. And what is to come is never slow, never predictable. Sometimes it arises suddenly, a moment that changes everything, a unique, earth-shattering, unexpected event. You will sense it even before it manifests. A shiver will run through your body, a silent certainty will fill your heart, and you will know that what you have waited for, what you have silently hoped for, has found its way to you. You will then understand that the times of patience were not a punishment but a ritual, a necessary passage toward this moment of divine revelation. You already feel the anticipation. It is there, subtle yet insistent, like a soft light beginning to filter into your heart. Your soul recognizes it, even if your mind still doubts. Because what is happening is not by chance, and what is being prepared is not ordinary. Every beat of your heart, every breath you take, is connected to this moment. And when that moment comes, everything you have experienced will take on a clear, irrefutable meaning. You will see that nothing has been lost, that everything was necessary, and that the grandeur of what is about to happen surpasses anything you could have imagined. Why is it so hard to believe in the light when everything seems dark? Why does your heart still doubt, even after giving all you could, even after praying in silence, pleading on cold nights, and patiently waiting for answers? Why does doubt cling to you like a shadow you can't shake? Perhaps the real question isn't why doubt exists, but why it's there to purify you. Why does Allah allow you to feel this weight, this hesitation, this fear? Because doubt isn't always a sign of weakness. Sometimes it's the invisible test that prepares you to recognize the light when it appears. It's the subtle fire that burns away your false certainties, dissolves illusions, and reveals the silent strength you didn't know you possessed. Have you ever considered that perhaps you're looking for answers in the wrong place? You wait for visible signs, spectacular miracles, tangible proof, while true guidance slips into the unseen, into the breath you take, into the patience you don't even notice. What if true faith wasn't about understanding everything, but about accepting the inexplicable, remaining still and trusting in Allah's promise, even when all seems lost. Look at yourself. You've spent days, weeks, sometimes years, struggling against chaos, questioning every decision, doubting every turn. And yet, what you don't realize is that this struggle wasn't in vain. Every question you asked yourself, every tear you shed, every moment you thought you couldn't go on, has built a silent capacity within you, a strength that will allow you to recognize the miracle when it comes. Why doesn't the miracle come slowly, gradually, as you would wish? Because what Allah prepares is never limited by your human timing. What is meant to happen, what has been written for you, never unfolds as you plan. Patience is not a tool for prolonging pain. It is a laboratory for transforming your heart, your mind, and your soul, so that they are ready to receive what surpasses imagination. And often, what arrives most quickly, most suddenly, is the deepest, the most powerful, the most transformative. And you who are listening, you who feel the weight of waiting, understand that this moment is not only before you, it is already within you. Your heart, even in its doubts and fractures, knows the truth. It knows that stillness, patience, and silent faith are the gateways through which the miracle will manifest. It knows that it is not the quantity of your prayers, but the sincerity of your heart and the persistence of your patience that prepare the ground for what is to come. So ask yourself, what are you truly waiting for? What do you expect life to give you? What do you expect destiny to reveal? What do you expect from Allah, from the very breath of your existence, from the unseen world around you? What if what you believed would happen in 1,000 stages were to actually appear all at once? What if the change, the blessing, the relief you have longed for so long were to occur in an instant, in a way you never imagined? Don't you feel that subtle shiver, that tension in your heart, like a silent promise that something is about to happen? It's not your imagination, it's the conviction that the light, though invisible for now, is approaching. You may not see it yet, but your soul recognizes it. It knows that what is to come will be neither slow nor timid. It will come suddenly, in an unusual, overwhelming way. And you who have waited, you who have believed even when all seemed lost, will be ready to receive it. So allow yourself to remain in this stillness, in this moment of tension, in this silence where everything seems motionless. Because it is in this invisible space, in this seemingly endless waiting, that miracles are born. It is there that the visible and the invisible meet. It is there that the quietest prayers find their answer. It is there that what you thought impossible becomes possible. And even now, as you question yourself, as your mind stirs and your heart hesitates, a part of you knows that something profoundly unexpected is about to manifest. You don't know when, you don't know how, but you will feel it. Because your soul is already ready, and the promise of what is to come is closer than you believe. What if that moment were imminent? Your soul is like a seed buried beneath the cold, silent earth. No one sees what is happening right now. The roots are spreading in the darkness, invisible to the naked eye. They extend gently, patiently, drawing strength from elements you cannot perceive. The silent rain of tears, the unseen warmth of patience, the imperceptible light of faith. Everything seems still on the outside, and yet, within, a subtle, perfect, divine work is unfolding. No one knows how many times this seed has teetered on the brink of giving up. No one knows the strength your heart needed to hold on when all seemed lost. Every doubt you felt, every pain you endured, every moment you thought you wouldn't make it, all of it was not lost. It is the secret fertilizer of your soul, this silent blonde that only patience and trust in Allah can produce. The seed feeds on these invisible elements, and little by little, it prepares to sprout. Imagine the darkness surrounding this seed. It seems overwhelming, suffocating. Yet, this darkness is necessary. It is in this silence, in this darkness, that the seed gains its strength. Without this darkness, it could never become what it is destined to become. In the same way, your lonely nights, your trials that seemed insurmountable, your fears and frustrations, are the necessary darkness for your soul to become strong, for your heart to be ready to receive the light and blessings that Allah has prepared for you. Then, one day, the miracle occurs. The seed sprouts. And it is not a slow or discreet event. Suddenly, what seemed dead becomes alive. Everything that seemed frozen, impossible or unattainable suddenly manifests. The patience you cultivated in silence, the faith you nurtured in the secret of your heart, everything becomes visible. Everything becomes real. And what you see isn't just the result of an external miracle. It's the manifestation of what grew within you during this time you thought was lost. Every root, every invisible fiber of your soul becomes a force. The wounds you thought irreparable become anchors. The nights you cried in silence become the springboard to the light. Everything makes sense. And then you realize that this time of silence, this time of patience, this time of faith wasn't a vain wait. It was divine preparation for something so beautiful, so powerful, that no human imagination can contain it. Your heart begins to grasp the depth of this truth. It understands that what is happening now will not be like anything you have ever known before. It's not simply an improvement or a small relief. It's a complete transformation. A complete transformation that surpasses anything you could have imagined. What you thought impossible has become possible. And what you thought lost has found its place in the perfect divine plan. Now imagine that this seed transforms into a majestic tree. Its branches reach high into the sky, touching the light you thought unattainable. Its roots are deep and strong, anchored in the soil that seemed empty and barren for so long. Every leaf that unfurls, every flower that blooms, every fruit that ripens is a symbol of your inner transformation. Every trial, every tear, every moment of solitude you have endured has become the foundation of this greatness. And what is even more powerful is that this tree does not grow only for you. It becomes a beacon, a silent witness for those who look to you, for those who are also traversing their desert, their night, their waiting. Your inner transformation becomes an invisible, yet tangible, sign of the wisdom and power of Allah. Others see the brilliance of this miracle, and your heart knows that every moment of pain and patience has contributed to this miracle, manifesting not only for you, but for all around you. Even now, as you listen to these words, your soul can feel the approaching light. You already feel the subtle breath changing the air around you, the gentle yet insistent vibration preparing you to receive what is to come. You know, deep down, that this moment is only the beginning. That what you have waited for so long, what you have silently hoped for, what you have sown with your prayers and unseen efforts, is about to grow beyond anything you ever imagined. And that is when your heart begins to beat faster, when your soul trembles with silent gratitude, when every fiber of your being feels that what is being prepared is extraordinary, that the patience, faith, and time of silence you have experienced are finally rewarded with an unexpected, magnificent, and complete return. Don't dismiss this message as just another story. Breathe, reflect, and let these words sink in. Take a moment to meditate on what you've just heard and allow Allah to prepare your path toward this unique transformation. If this message has touched you, share it with someone going through a difficult time. Because sometimes, a single sentence is enough to ignite a light in someone's soul. And above all, stay open, stay patient, and be ready. The moment everything changes is approaching faster than you think.